right. So, I think this is actually another order from, NIS America. I picked up a copy of the Guided Fate Paradox, and they said in their description online that the boxes were damaged. Doesn't really look damaged, but they sent me a replacement box. So I've got an empty box and the collector's edition box. And they're also doing a sale on... Oh, they threw in a keychain too. Anyway, they're doing a sale on some of their anime as well. So I picked up Arakawa Under the Bridge, Seasons 1 and Season 2. So if you've never seen the show, it's really quirky, really out there anime. So I was looking forward to actually owning that one. And I picked up a copy of Natural Doctrine. My roommate has this game. He showed it to me. It seemed really interesting and really difficult. So I thought I'd pick this one up, add it to the collection as well. Got another limited run box here, so let's open this one up. Alright. This is my Shantae and the Seven Sirens collector's box. This does not include the game, it's just a display box. I think this was something that they were selling at PAX. I'd like to pick up the game at some point. I think this one is digital only? Not sure. Just recently getting into the Shantae game, so I know there's several of them, and looking forward to picking them all up. This is from Retro Modding. So if any of you guys are familiar with them, they have various handheld customization options and like repair parts and stuff like that if you want to do different work on Game Boys, Game Boy Advances, things like that. It's a little 3D printed bracket here for a Game Boy Advance IPS LCD screen. So I'm going to be doing some modding on some of those GBAs that you saw earlier. That's where this comes in. As well as that DMG that I picked up earlier. I bought one of their special edition shells for it. This is a Link's Awakening shell that they had. And I think it's exclusive through them. It's even got their little logo on the back. Really happy to have that. And I think there's another box from them somewhere in this pile. Keeping in line with the customization of handhelds, this one's actually from Boxy Pixel. So if you guys are aware of them, they are, or it's one person, I'm not exactly sure, are based out of the UK, I believe, and they do, let's see if I have one to show you, they do really nice machined aluminum housings for handhelds. So I picked, I think, a couple of them up, might be across several orders, but I picked several of them up. This appears to be for their Game Boy Macro. And if you guys are familiar with these are where people take DS lights, I believe, and they modify them by basically chopping off the upper screen, and they just use the lower portion, because the lower portion has the Game Boy card slot on the bottom. So what they'll do is basically just make a Game Boy Macro, so a larger Game Boy. And this is like a more refined, prettier version, or a way to do that, because most people will just lop it off and then they'll fill in the holes and cracks or whatever with epoxy, sand it down, paint it or whatever. But this is a machined actual faceplate that you can then mount onto the back plate with the motherboard and the battery and everything. This appears to be the entire order for that. I got the glass screen that says Game Boy Macro on it, which I thought that was really cool and a really nice touch. Ordered a couple bits and pieces for that, and I believe, okay, so I went ahead and ordered a replacement shell. So this one is silver, so I figured black on silver, that would look pretty good, because I had ordered, I think, some lots off of eBay that have Game Boy lights in them, and I have some Game Boy lights too, but they're not in the best shape, so I wanted to buy a replacement shell for that because everything would look really good. And let's see what's in this box. I think this is also, okay, so this is a replacement black shell. These actually appear to be really nice. Alright, let's see what's in this guy. Okay, so this is from Video Express and Game Exchange, based out of New Jersey. What I ordered from them. Oh, okay. So, to complete, well, not to complete, but to continue my Command & Conquer collection, I picked up Dune 2000 for the PlayStation 1. Still trying to find the PlayStation 1 mouse to play a lot of these RTS games for the PS1. I forgot how many they made. I think there's at least a dozen RTS games that were ported from PC to PS1, including Dune 2000, and this one is in beautiful shape. And I know you can pick this one up for PC and play it, and it's a lot easier and plays in widescreen and everything, but I thought this was kind of cool. I'm a big fan of the older RTS Command & Conquer games, so looking forward to checking this one out. They really wrapped this thing up. I'm guessing it's a PlayStation 1 game. Or it's a DS game. Oh, okay. So this is one that I picked up towards the end of my deployment. Nostalgia for the DS. This is one of those RPGs that I had never heard of before, and when I was looking for things to buy on eBay, you know, and trying to kill time, just browsing around, I came across this one that looked really interesting, so I thought I'd pick this one up as well. Yo. Lunar Legend for the Game Boy Advance, and I bought it off of somebody that is obviously a collector. They actually have it in the plastic protective case, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much for sending me that. So Lunar Legend, I've collected the Lunar games for the PS1, and I saw that they made entry for the GBA, and I think there's a later one for the DS. I was able to find this one complete in box. Figured it was worth the money. I really enjoy the Lunar games, so I'm looking forward to having this one on the shelf. Got another box from Japan. Again, I'm not going to try to look at the label on the front and spoil what's in here. Try to keep my eyes off of that. Alright, what did I order? Oh! I know what this is. Okay, so I saw the label on front. I thought it was from Japan, but this is actually from Germany. This is from, if you guys are familiar, Strictly Limited Games. They're similar to Limited Run, but I think they even do less of a run of their games. But I picked up the Ninja Saviors Collector's Edition for PS4. I thought this one looked really interesting. I'm always a big fan of arcade games being ported to later systems, especially with updates, and from what I heard, they did a really good job with this one, so I'm really interested in checking it out. My roommate, my brother both like playing video games cooperatively, so I thought I'd check it out with them. He also threw in a postcard and some pins. Oh boy, here we go. Another collector's edition for the PS4. I got Dusk Diver. So this was one that I actually came across in Qatar, and I almost picked it up, but then I thought, hey, maybe I should check the listing online and see how much it goes for. And I saved, you know, a couple bucks or whatever, ordering off of eBay, I think. This is an eBay seller. So, interested in checking this one out. Like all these games, I know that I'm getting a little repetitious saying that, but again, the anime aesthetic kind of sold me on it. The girl on front looked interesting. I liked her design, so it doesn't take a lot to convince me to buy anime games or just any video game, honestly. What have we got here? Alrighty. If I can get this one out of the plastic and show you guys. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Fire Emblem Special Edition. At the time of buying this one, the Switch version hadn't been announced yet, so whenever I picked this one up, this was, well, I should say whenever I bought this one online, this was the only way to get this game. So I'm a big Fire Emblem fan. Not as big of a fan of like the Persona-style combat system, but my brother is, so I thought I'd pick this one up, show it to him. Maybe that'd be an introductory way of, or good way to introduce him to the Fire Emblem series, because I've always been trying to get him to play those games. But now that the Switch version's out, I might just actually leave this sealed and put it on the shelf, because I was actually able to pick this one up brand new. Looks in really good condition. And I have to say, online, the pictures of this make it out to seem a lot bigger than it is in person. Alright, got a box here from Best Buy. I think this might have been something that I ordered fairly early in my deployment, because I can only remember 2 or 3 orders, I think, that I made from Best Buy. And that was mainly thanks to Cheap Ass Gamer on Facebook. If you don't know about them, check them out. They have some really awesome deals that they turn you on to. Yep. Yep. Trails of Cold Steel Relentless Edition for the PS4. Already own both of these games, 1 and 2 for the PS3, but they remade them for the PS4. And like I said earlier, I'm a sucker for these larger boxes. Might leave this one sealed because I've already started the ones on the PS3, so I might continue them. And then just have these ones next to the rest of the games in the series. Alright, so we got one of the larger boxes to open now. They also wrapped the crap out of this thing, so I might just cut to me actually opening the box in a second. Okay, so I finally got it open, and I just saw what was inside, and I'm freaking out now because this is one of the more expensive items that I got, so I really hope it's in good shape. As you can see, you put fragile stickers on it, so hopefully that did some good. Alrighty. So, this is the Dark Souls 3 Collector's Edition. It appears to be in fairly decent shape. It's been opened previously, which I knew about. The box is a little squished in parts, but hey, it'll still look good on my shelf. And that doesn't bother me too much with the damage that's on it. But seeing how much these things go for online, I was able to pick this one up for a decent price. I mean, still paid a lot for it, but I think it was pretty decent. So given the condition it's in, that's to kind of be expected that I got it a little cheaper. But yeah, this one is going to look really good on my shelf. Huge Dark Souls fan, so really happy to have this one in the collection. Alright guys, I got a package here from Morphcat Games, and some of you might know what's in here because, well, they had a Kickstarter game recently. But for the rest of you, I guess you're in for a bit of a surprise. Alright, I forgot exactly what tier I backed for this game, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what actually is in here. So they actually wrapped this in a bag. That is really cool. Threw in a magnet of some of the game's pixel characters. That's really cool. Another magnet. And let's see the actual game. Alright, so this is Micro Mages. This is a 4-player cooperative NES game. So there's an actual NES cartridge in here, and this is kind of a reproduction NES game box. And then they threw in this nice bag here. This is really cool. This was more just for the fact that they were able to fit a fairly large game on here. 40 kilobytes, yeah. So I'm not exactly familiar with the capacity of NES cartridges, but I know that this one was like far exceeding what other games were, or what other games were size-wise. So this one was kind of cool in that regard. And it's just always interesting to see that people are still making games for older systems. Alright, got another box here from Retro Modding. I think I know what this one is just by process of elimination. I forgot exactly how many orders I placed with them. I probably would have bought more, but the computers I was using over there were blocking Retro Modding whenever I was at work, because they thought they were just game websites that I could go and play video games on. They didn't want me to waste time. Yeah. Anyway. Awesome, man, that looks beautiful. Not talking about the stickers. Stickers cool too, but I got the Metroid Return of Samus, I believe, edition DMG shell. And it's, again, like the last one that they make that's got their logo on the back. But this one is absolutely beautiful. Got really good texturing on it. Plastic appears to be really good quality. I don't know if they made this themselves or if they got someone else to do it, but this is a really nice shell, so I'm really excited to actually customize a Game Boy. Alright, still got a long way to go, so let's open ourselves another box. What is this? What is this? Oh! I remember ordering this. So I got a copy of Class of Heroes 2 for the PSP. This was another series that I didn't even know existed until I was scouring eBay and came across them, and they intrigued me so much that I decided to pick up, picked up this one. You'll see what else I got for the series. But this was one of those games that I don't know if it's any good or not. It was quite pricey, and I just kind of wanted it for the collection. It came with this certificate of authenticity, which is really cool. And I think with the limited research I did on this one, this was a online purchase only. I think you'd have to go to their website or it was a mail order or something like that. I know this one, I don't think was, if I remember right, wasn't made widely available in stores. So it's really cool that I have this one, and it is complete in plastic too. We'll see if I end up opening this one. I want to play it, but at the same time, with this one being very rare, kind of don't want to break the plastic, but we'll see. All right, what is this? All right, I remember this one. So I picked up a copy of the 25th Ward, the silver case. So this is another NIS America game, but I did not order it from them. Let's see if I can open this without slicing the game box open. So this was one that I didn't catch whenever they had released it, mostly because I wasn't looking into collecting for this series. I think there's only 2 games in this series. And unfortunately they didn't have it on their website anymore. But I was able to pick up the collector's edition of the silver case. This is kind of a, I guess, murder mystery sort of game. I think this is a remake of one that was made for the PS1 and is really rare for the PS1. Let's see, what else did I get? This looks to be a pre-order bonus. It just looks like an art book. That's always neat. I love getting stuff like that. All right, hopefully you guys are still with me, and hopefully this is interesting to you guys. I know I feel like a kid on Christmas, man. I missed Christmas, so this is kind of my Christmas. All right, we got ourselves another controller lot. So this time I actually was able to get 2 of the aqua blue controllers from Japan. The main thing that I was concerned about with these ones is sun damage. These ones are both listed in like fair condition. On one of these, it appears it's been sitting out in the sun for a while. It's a little yellowed on one of the grips. Thankfully, that just appears to be one of them. The other one looks like someone's dog got a hold of the joysticks, which is fairly common. So I'll just swap those out. Oh, and the controller port plug-in is fairly corroded. So these ones, unfortunately, I might have taken a bit of a hit on. We'll see what I can do in the future to either clean these up, restore them, whatever, and hopefully still have usable controllers.